Hey everybody, we're looking at question 19. The two expressions below are equivalent. So they give you this one and they give you this one. Which statement best explains why the expressions are equivalent? And then they give you a bunch of choices here. So this is simplified. This is not. So let's distribute this to kind of wrap our brains around why they might be equivalent. If we do this times this, that would probably, we would write the coefficient first and write that as 2 and 5/10 times y. And if we did this times this, we would probably put the 7 first and then the y, because that's showing these two things being multiplied together. And then we're adding to that this next section, which is plus y minus 2. All right, so if we combine like terms, what are like each other? We have this term, and this term, which remember there's a secret 1 in front of this. So we could hypothetically combine these things to see if we get the same thing that we have here, which is 10y. So let's see if that's true. If we add 2 and 5/10 plus 7 plus 1y, in other words, add up all the coefficients, do we get 10.5 or 10 and 5/10 y? So let's add it up. 2 and 5/10, 7, which is the same as 7.0, and 1.0. And remember, this is all going to have a y after it because the variables are all y. And here we get the 5, bring down the decimal. This would be 10, right? So this all combines out to be 10 and 5/10 y. And then we can't combine this because that's not a like term. All right, so we combine these and we got the same thing as this, what's in the green box. All right, so now let's read through the choices. It is a bit wordy, so let's try to interpret what they're saying. Which statement best explains why the expressions are equivalent? The expressions have the same value for any value of y. The expressions have the same value for only whole number values of y. The expressions have the same value only when y is an odd number. Or D, the expressions have the same value only when y is an even number. Now, we could go through the trouble of actually throwing in some hypotheticals, but quite simply, if we simplify an expression and it equals the same thing as another version of it, then that means that any value for y that we could put in, so, for example, let's say we're going to substitute in the value y equals 3. If we substituted it in this first expression, and then we substituted it in for this second expression, it should be equivalent because we've been talking about that, pretty much all year. All right, so which of these choices really reflects that, A, B, C, or D?